Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for another Wicked Wednesday. Today we're going to be checking out the winner of this month's poll, and that is Gerald's Game. Now this, as far as I know, is a Mike Flanagan film, which we love here on the channel. We've reacted to all of his series, including The Midnight Club. As far as his films have gone, I've seen Oculus, I've seen Dr. Sleep, and I have seen Hush. That has been it. And I'm really looking forward to his upcoming movie. I think it's like The Life of Chuck or something like that. I'm really looking forward to that. I love his stuff. This is Stephen King. I know very little about this movie. I have a general idea just as far as the premise itself, like the setting, the setup, the shtick, the hook. But that's really just about it. Mike Flanagan has yet to like miss in my book. So I'm excited to check this out. That said, let's get ready to hop in. If you want to see the full length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is in watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for actually the entire film. Over there, get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also can suggest and vote what movies to react to each month. It's just a great way to support the channel, help us do the things that we do over here. But at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And with that all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into Gerald's Game. Here we go. It's like we're packing for a nice little trip. I didn't realize this was actually a Netflix film. Oh, it's that kind of getaway, huh? Oh! Wow, okay.
You want something else?
Oh! Shit! I did not know who the leads were in this. Check out my reactions to The Fall of the House of Usher, man. These two were fucking amazing in that. I mean, she's amazing in every goddamn thing I've seen her in. This has me even more excited. And again, it just goes to show that Mike Flanagan's got a lot of people he trusts, so he works with them multiple times.
Gerald.
Yeah.
Gerald.
Oh, so he's the... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa!
Oh, he's starving.
He's got a collar on. Doesn't mean much, but it means somebody either abandoned him out here or he got loose. But he is what I was about to say before we got jump scared by that almost wreck.
He won't for long. If he keeps going for roadkill, he's gonna be roadkill himself.
No wonder there's no passion right now, man. This guy's kind of an ass. Jesus. Anyway, so he's the titular Gerald then. So what kind of games is he up to? Again, I have like a rough idea about it, but it's got me even more nervous. I mean, I guess what do I expect? It's a Stephen King adaptation. It's got to get pretty fucky.
2 minutes, babe, okay. Yeah, no, I understand, but you're meeting up
Oh. Well, this is a swanky little place with a beautiful view. Where are we? Hold on, sorry. What am I talking about? This is Stephen King. Are we in Maine? Isn't he working on another Stephen King property in, you know, after The Life is Chuck? Or am I making that up in my mind? Ooh. Nom nom.
You hungry?
Aww.
You out there?
Oh, okay. Hey, okay, there he is.
Here you are. Here you go, my poor prince.
What are you doing?
Oh, I was just...
I thought something real bad was about to happen. I don't know, I got real nervous there.
It's $200 a portion.
Sorry, there were 4 in the fridge. I figured.
You got such a good heart, so I married.
For better or worse.
No, just...
I'm assuming in this situation, he's definitely the worst. Maybe he was a different person back then, but right now I'm just like, how the hell did they even end up together? Guy is like consistently just kind of a heartless little dickbag.
We could,
I mean, I guess if we're all the way out here, it can't hurt to kind of do that. Oh, brand new nightie.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We are going right there.
You look amazing.
Hey man, I'm never against some bondage, but like, this just makes me so nervous considering, again, Stephen King. Oh, I didn't like that. I don't know if it's so much the sound or just the way he did it. Like the crunching of the hands like that. That combo did not do it for me.
Is it okay?
Sure.
This is just all for him, isn't it? Because I don't know if she's into it or if she's just doing this because he's wanting to spice things up. Yep, that is exactly what I thought it was.
Well, look what I found.
What?
I bet you want me to leave. I bet you think your husband will be back any minute. But something tells me he won't.
Oh, okay. Is he role-playing? I guess. Oh, okay. She's getting into it. She's getting into it.
You can try to scream. There's no one for miles.
Gerald?
Gerald. I'm trying to go for help.
Really?
No, I'm just trying.
Help! Somebody help me.
Oh, come on. Come on. No, you said you're trying to make it feel real.
I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little weird.
You'll settle into it.
How long have they been together?
I don't like this. I'm serious. Stop.
Like that, make it feel real.
Stop it.
Daddy's gonna get what Daddy wants.
Fucking stop it! Uncuff me now!
Yeah, we are past the point of okay. I mean, we were well past there for a minute now, but
Isn't this why we came up here?
I said I'd try a few things,
You said you'd try.
and I tried. And it's not working.
I feel like we should have set some expectations before we went out here like this, man.
You haven't touched me in months. No interest whatsoever. Until I say I'll let you play some sex game, and it's turning into a fantasy that I never knew you had. Just please, just unlock these.
What if I won't? What if I won't?
You have to.
What if I'm sweet?
Gerald, I need you to stop this.
Oh! Fuck! The fuck is the matter with you?
Her? Listen, I'm all for some freaky shit, but it can't be like that, man.
God, how did we go so wrong?
How did you end up together? I'm sorry, like I'm projecting here, maybe, I don't know.
Because we were happy once.
Of course.
Were we?
What? Gerald.
Oh no.
Gerald? Gerald? What's...
Oh.
Hey! What's happening?
Oh.
No. Oh shit, there's a book, Midnight Mass. Okay. I knew there was like a couple trying to go rekindle their romance life plot involved into whatever shenanigans happens here.
Gerald!
But I didn't know how the ball got rolling.
Say something!
Like I thought this was going to be like a like yeah, it was a fantasy that went way too far. And while that's just like the first 5 minutes. Like a misery situation was like what I was thinking. Oh my God, she's stranded out in the middle of nowhere, locked to this bed. That's why the door was open, that little bit of hope and safety. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. And he's like, there's no one for miles. Scream as much as you want. Might as well be in fucking outer space right now. Wow.
Wake up!
Grandma should put on a little makeup, because he ain't getting up. So I'm sorry. There's like an hour and 30 minutes still of this movie.
Just get back up here. You can do anything you want.
Wow.
Anything.
He ain't getting up, man. This is so fucked up. Oh, on top of the heart attack, he busted his head on the fucking floor. Mike Flanagan, you are a bastard. You just had to do these cuts like that. God, it's effective. He set the stage so perfectly. So what in God's name is like the last bit of this? Is this just like, she can't reach her phone, she can't reach fucking anything? Not gonna lie, this is the fear I've had a couple of times.
It's time to wake up.
Because I have been on both ends of this. Okay, what was that?
Hello?
Maybe the dog? How does it sound like a dog? I don't know what that sounds like, though. See, this is why everybody needs to learn how to dislocate their thumbs.
In an hour or so, it'll be so dark.
And there's not a single light on it.
Hey!
What the fuck?
We're back here. He's hurt. Nate! Kelly, is that you?
Is that the dog? It is. Go get help, Lassie. Go. Go get help.
Hi. How was the steak? It's $200 a portion, you know. I don't suppose you're a rescue dog. I didn't think so.
Oh no. Oh no 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 no. No 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 no.
Back off from him.
He was eating the possum. Wow.
Hey!
Oh my God. Check out my reactions to Midnight Mass.
No.
Oh, she's.
What the hell?
Oh my God, thank God. I thought you.
My goddamn arm.
Sorry.
The dog.
Yeah,
right?
you were so right. I
The one you fed.
and cuff me and
Goddamn dog.
Is she?
Goddamn dog.
Oh, lovely.
Smelled the blood, did what dogs do. Fuck you, roadkill. I hope you choke.
Her guilt is fucking breaking her mind. She's dissociating from the situation.
You remember the joke I told at Christmas last year?
Well, I mean, not dissociating. She's like hyper-associating.
It was Tom Reynolds I was talking to. You didn't hear the beginning of the joke, just the end. And what is a woman? Tom said, what? Like he already knew the answer. And I said,
a life support system for
Yeah, that was it. You never told me you heard it. You never raised an objection. You smiled through the night, hated me a little
Wow.
bit, but never once brought it up.
Because you're not like that. You don't talk that way.
And was I just putting on a show? Stooping to his level to get something I needed? Or was that who I really was? Underneath it all.
Wow.
Don't ask a question you don't want to know the answer to, I guess.
Well, I mean, if this whole outing is any indication, I would
You
have to...
You never heard me breathe, not once. And you know the sound.
Wait, how many hours has it been? He said hours.
5 minutes after my head hit the floor, you saw the blood, you heard the silence, you knew it, but you just laid there wasting precious minutes and hours and breath. Calling my fucking name, talking to a corpse on the floor.
What's happening?
Pretty sure you just lost your mind. But seeing a dog eating your husband will do that. I mean, if you're gonna have a mental breakdown, that's a pretty great excuse. And you did what you always do when it gets too much. You ran in here,
Wow.
calling my name again and again, and let critical time tick by like a stupid fucking...
Stop it.
You should have been thinking about life support. I mean, maybe that's why you're remembering that joke right now. It's got to be for some reason, after all. Your life support system, you've been unplugged. There's still juice in there, but the charge is running down. And if you don't get out of the cuffs, it will go all the way to zero.
Wow.
When did we get here?
How long has it actually been?
When's the sun been setting?
7:15 or so.
Oh, that's pretty close. Let's say
Oh,
5 hours so far. 5 hours you screaming for neighbors that are half a mile away, if they're even here yet. And you know, if you really think about it,
Nate and Kelly said they
wouldn't be heading up there till June this year, and the maids came to prep for us yesterday. And the grass,
was cut fresh.
which means no gardeners.
oh my God.
And I wouldn't want them interrupting my little game, so I probably gave them at least the weekend off. Who could possibly hear you screaming, except Cujo over there?
Nice. I have seen that. He's just suckling on that piece of skin. Well, I didn't expect this to get that fucked up this fast. What in God's name is the rest of this movie? Oh. Okay. Or is that in her mind? Is she still actually cuffed? Or, okay, no, she got one. Okay, there's no way. This is in her head again. She's gonna get, like, so far and then be back in the bed or some bullshit, isn't she?
It's that easy.
Oh, baby.
That is so fucked up.
Don't listen to him. He's the reason we're here to begin with, and look how he ended up.
I'm just telling her how things really are.
No, you're doing what you always did, minimizing. Men aren't so much blessed with penises as cursed by them. And we might die here today because of Gerald's 5 inches.
That's the national average, wasn't it? Whatever, I don't know.
What about the stories on the news where mothers lift their cars to save their children?
She's no mother.
What's that supposed to mean?
No maternal instinct.
Your career always came first.
That's what you said.
Okay, you're wasting precious time here. I can't get out. Don't recite facts to me. Wake up.
Says the voice in your head.
Oh my God.
You're gonna die in those handcuffs. And we both know you've been sleepwalking since you were 12 years old. Not now. If not now, when?
Not now, what?
He put you in those handcuffs way before Gerald did.
Wait, what?
Who's he?
Oh, we're taking a dark dive, aren't we? Carla is fucking amazing. She gets into a monologue, I get so locked in. I mean, it's hard to not be in a situation like this and have like a fucking break, a panic, to the point where you do break from reality. I could wholly imagine that.
Or did a load of laundry, for that matter.
Oh my God. These are the voices in her head just manifesting and berating her.
Okay, scrap that. If you can't get off the bed, you gotta live long enough for someone to find you on it.
So eat your thigh. Maybe a little too soon, I guess.
What's wrong?
My head hurts.
You know why?
Dehydration.
How long do you think someone lives without water?
3 days.
You remember when I first started taking those?
Late one night, you tried without a pill and it just wasn't working.
Yeah, I was as soft as a kitten.
Until you held my wrist above my head.
I grabbed your throat. The first time in all those years you wondered.
How exactly did I marry?
Because everybody's got a little corner in there somewhere. A button they won't admit they want pressed.
And after a while, what he was settling for just wasn't enough anymore. He needed to tap into that button, so then nothing was going to work unless he was hitting that button.
Blue pills.
Because it led to this.
Now give it to her.
Wait,
Give it to her.
Wait.
Give her what she needs.
Nice.
Thank God for those pills.
Oh, I thought it was going to be because it killed him. But no, because of that medicine, he brought that glass of water over here. It means she might be able to get that to come off of that ledge. Maybe. Good thing he didn't cuff her ankles. She could, like, bend up over and give it a good old kick. Or that. Oh, God. But I mean, if you just dump it over, like, what are you gonna do? It's not like she could bend over and suck it out of her blouse. Oh, God. Oh, okay, she might be able to catch it. Maybe? Yeah. Please don't drop it.
what?
That's what.
No. Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
No.
That.
Let it go.
But I can't.
Put it down.
Do one of these. Just like chuck it into your mouth. That's what I would try. It's just like flick it. Just flick of the wrist. See if you just sling some of it into your mouth. It's better than fucking nothing. Oh my God.
That dog is just doing what it has to get along. And you have to do the same.
Oh, wow.
Focus.
She's the dog.
Give up. Come tomorrow, you and Gerald will be together again. Inside the fucking dog. Can we please get back to work now?
I love this slip.
Oh, good God.
I bought it special. You bought it brand new.
Okay, the tag. Okay. What can we do with the tag? We're gonna try to use the tag to... I mean, handcuff locks are pretty simple. I mean, hell, it's whatever you can do. I mean, that's assuming that's what she's trying to use it for. Oh, no, duh, hold on, straw. I thought she was gonna try to pop the cuff mechanism with the rolled up tag. Well, hell yeah. Progress. It's something.
Leave some for later.
I don't know how well that would actually work, but hey, effort. No, do not drop that. Okay.
Why can't I keep my eyes open?
Stress makes your adrenaline and cortisol levels skyrocket, and now you're crashing.
Mm-hmm.
I will need my energy. You will. You will at that.
Tomorrow.
God. God, this just makes me wonder what the fuck the book is like. What the hell? That was on the that was in the hallway. That wasn't in here. What scared the dog off? Not only are you trapped in this house by yourself going crazy all on your own, but also, guess what? It's haunted. And there's an axe murderer on the loose. Why not? Let's just throw everything into this mix.
Where'd you go, you little shit?
No, he couldn't have got the fuzzy cuffs or something.
Hello?
Oh, fuck you. What the hell? What in the world?
I need help. You're not real.
Or maybe you're just not safe anymore. People are safe from ghouls and ghosts and the living dead in the daylight. And they're usually safe from them at night, if they're with others. But a person alone in the dark are like open doors, Jesse. And if they scream for help, who knows what might answer? Who knows what people see in the moment of their solitary death?
I mean, she hasn't had food. She's had very little water. She's already dealing with a lot of psychological trauma. You couldn't trust anything that you were seeing or sensing. She's already got a history of like sleepwalking and some kind of trauma that she hasn't even revealed to him at all.
Maybe that's just what death looks like. Then why did the dog leave?
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe he just moved under the bed.
No, he walked out of the house.
And put his hand on your hip.
Oh, he was talking about the entity in here. Oh, you jackass. I don't care if you're dead or a delusion. Fuck off.
On your soft, warm flesh, there's not much you can do about it, Mouse.
What did you call me?
Close your eyes. If there's a monster under your bed, it won't bother you if you're asleep.
Shh. Her father. That's the she was talking about before that the other one was kind of confused by, is my guess. Some like deep-rooted trauma, which is why she's very adverse to a lot of this, I would assume.
You okay, Jesse?
Oh, shit. We're going full on back.
These are bigger.
Yo! Him too? Oh no, don't make it him. Oh no. Shit. Henry Thomas? Is that that's his name, right? Yeah, Henry Thomas.
Here, go on out to the boat now.
Starting today at around 4:17
Do you
p.m.
want me to make some sandwiches for the boat?
Where's Kate?
The lake scares me.
If she's afraid of the water, then I'm not going to force her out onto a boat.
Fine. She's a nuisance anyway. She picks fights with her brother. She rolls her eyes at me incessantly.
She's 12.
Wow.
Smiles and sweetness for daddy.
Well, that's totally age-appropriate behavior, isn't it?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Lovely little home life there.
This is another reminder to our listeners not to look directly into the eclipse, which should begin to...
That's better. Unless you don't want to listen to Daddy's old man music.
No, I like it.
Is that also why she was like, I'm not calling you daddy?
You look like a proper young woman. Here, so you don't hurt your eyes. Scoot close and we'll share. When you were a little girl, you used to sit on my lap. Nah, that's stupid.
What?
I was gonna say,
Don't say it.
well, how about it? For old time's sake. Nah, that's silly. That's just a silly idea from your silly old man. Hell, I know you're a grown woman now. You're too big to sit on your daddy's lap anymore. I just miss my little girl sometimes.
Can we move on, please? I get it.
I'm not too big.
Mouse. Love you.
I love you too, Daddy. Daddy, you're missing it. Daddy.
Just keep watching.
Thank Christ. Well, the whole, wait. The dog, oh.
Jesus!
We've been hanging on them all night. Pain in circulation.
Oh, but the dog is back in here, so did it ever actually leave, or was that in her head too? Was she dreaming? Fuck, I don't know. Oh god, the dog's nipped at a couple of different parts of him since we last checked in on everything.
Oh God, that hurts.
Thing about this too is you never really know, because Stephen King, all of his stuff is in a shared world. So like, even as mundane or psychological as it may be, it still exists in a world where weird shit does exist.
You never told me about the eclipse.
I never told anyone.
That's a marriage, isn't it? Telling each other the difficult things.
Not that one. No.
I mean, some things you just want to like never touch on anymore.
You married an older man. Your father was a lawyer. Gerald was a lawyer. Your father minimized you, objectified you.
Let's not forget my burgeoning drinking problem.
Wow.
You married into the only dynamic you've ever known. You were a girl, he was a man, and you never walked away from that. That afternoon never ended. You'd gotten your period for the first time just a month before, right? Maybe that's what got him going. He smelled the blood and did what dogs do. Our friend in the hall is every man you've ever known. Your father had your mother till you were nice and ripe.
It wasn't like that.
And Gerald, the late hours, the mystery callers, the weekend trips. What was he really doing? You ignored it, but you knew his hunger for you had faded and a dog's gotta eat.
I handled it. I handled it.
Sure, just like you handled those last few minutes on Daddy's lap.
He didn't me. He didn't even touch me. He only touched himself. And if you want to blame someone, I might as well blame my mother or the boat.
What's weird is like the way that her mother was talking to her father too was almost in this weird pseudo kind of jealousy kind of way. Like the way she talked about her own daughter, the way she talked about their relationship and closeness. It's like she almost like, I don't know, was both jealous but also knowing of like, I don't know. It was a little fucky. All of it was fucky, but like that was just, I don't know.
He had a dream. There was a woman standing over a deep well looking down into the blackness, and I'm in the well looking up at her. The sky was so dark behind her, the eclipse burning overhead, and the smell in that well. It was like pennies and oysters. She was standing there in her red dress, looking right at me.
What was in the well?
Secrets.
So many secrets.
You thought yours could go down there too? Just throw them in the well, down in the dark.
God, it's like Doom Patrol with Jane and her well. Same father issue in that as well, because it was her father that she buried in the well for the same shit.
I don't know why I thought of that. It's just a dream.
It's a man in a corner.
Well, I mean, we hope.
A bad dream.
I don't know, princess.
Oh.
You can tell yourself that if you need to.
He was a trick of the mind, just like you, Gerald, just like both of you.
Well, then why won't you look over there for more than a second? What are you afraid you're gonna see?
Dude,
Why are you still listening to him? Shh.
I mean, you know, if you've been late at night and you're getting a little eerie, you're in a bad mood, or you let your fears kind of amp up a little bit. I mean, sometimes you can't, it's not even letting it.
It's
but like,
bigger than that.
Like, and you look into that dark shadow of your room, sometimes your brain makes you think you see something in that shadow or different shapes in your...
I think it's a footprint. And if it is...
Shut up.
It was death you saw. He'll be back tonight, Jesse.
He just, what, Death is coming in to check on her? Like, hey, not quite
And
yet.
when you're dead, he'll have your wedding ring in his case with the rest of his pretty things, his souvenirs.
Thing is, too, you can't say that that footprint she just saw isn't also a manifestation of her mind.
I am gonna close my eyes, and when I open them, you will both be gone.
Like, even when I was a kid and stuff, if I was up at late at night and, like, I was having trouble falling asleep, when I was, like, young, I had, like, a corner, like, hammock with stuffed animals and stuff in it, and I swear to God, it looked like some nights they were breathing and staring at me. Like, eyes would follow me. Oh, no. Oh, no. But yeah, like, I would be convinced they were breathing and their eyes were following me and shit like that, you know? Like, and like, even if you just relax your eyes for long enough and stuff like that, like, you start to see things. Imagination runs wild.
I'm so sorry.
And it is evil that they just framed that whole section, like, here with this, like the opening of this movie.
I'm sorry you were there. It's not like I touched you, Jesse. But still, maybe we should tell Mom. I hate to. Just because things have been pretty tense between the two of you lately. But this can make things a lot worse. She won't think it's your fault, I'm sure.
Wow, what?
Fairly sure. I mean, she might.
What an ass. He's like,
Maybe
hey,
you shouldn't tell her.
that's what this was.
We have to.
Why?
All of that was like a chess game to get her.
Because
you can't keep it a secret.
Because you can't keep it a secret. I mean, if it's ever going to come out, then it's better for both of us that it happened now, not in a week or a year or even 10 years from now.
Please, I won't tell.
All of this was to get her to be the one to put that out there.
If we don't tell your mom today, then we could never tell anyone.
I would never.
Not ever.
Ever.
And not just your mother, not anyone.
This is so manipulative.
I'm sorry.
He's putting this all on her.
But you might be tempted with friends. One of them tells you a secret. Maybe you might want to tell them.
Never.
Or your brother, or your sister. There might come a time when you want to tell them.
No. No. I promise. I swear.
I don't know, Jess. I think it might be better for both of us if this were all out in the open now. Take our medicine. I mean, she can't kill us.
Well, we don't know that.
Please, please, please just don't tell her. I won't tell anybody.
You know, I've never been able to refuse you anything that you really wanted. Have I?
Oh, fuck off.
We'll try things your way.
Thank you, Daddy.
I didn't know we were going to be getting into, like, shit like this. I'm, like, getting nauseous and angry.
I did a shameful thing. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the eclipse.
What? Is that full moon energy made me all rapey?
Come on, let's get grilling. They should be back in a bit.
That may be one of the most fucked up situations I've seen. Oh! For fuck's sake! Oh! Oh, no. Okay. At least it went for the already dead guy. Oh. Jesus Christ, that fucking foot-sucking psychopath. What the fuck was that? Anyway, that... I mean, hell, like, you always hear about people who, you know, get trapped in this cycle of dating people like their fathers and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just...
It's fresher meat. You're still strong enough to kick, but you won't be for long, and he can smell it.
I don't even want to talk about it. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna just...
Yeah, eventually. Someone will find you, Jess, but it might take a long time. Because the first assumption will be we're off on some wild romantic fling. Only you and I know at the end I can only get it up if you're handcuffed to the bed. To the rest of the world, we're the picture of marital function. And sooner or later, people will start looking my people. I mean, there are a couple of women in New Orleans you call friends, but you've never really let them inside your life, have you?
Oh, and I'm sure her family aren't very close either because of everything. I mean, obviously her mother already resented her in some fashion already, so who knows what her relationship is with the rest of her family, especially carrying around something like that. Also, these types of people will pull you away and isolate you and sometimes keep you to themselves, cut off communications, or at least create situations that limit those communications, cause you to drift with everybody that may be a potential person to come and reach out to you at any point in your life, so that the only person you can turn to is them. Well, maybe for the longest time, he wasn't chaining her to a bed, but he was chaining her up in different ways that maybe she never even realized.
The forensics unit will show up with the county coroner. When they pull off the blanket, they will wince and nod and tell each other the woman on the bed died hard. But they won't know the half of it. They won't know the real reason your eyes are staring and your mouth is screaming. It's because what you saw at the end, coming out of the dark. In the end, you'll just call it death by misadventure.
It's so fucked up.
It was death. And tonight, when the sun goes down, he'll be back for you.
Little baby, don't say a word. It's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
He'll come quicker that way.
That diamond ring turns.
And that way you won't have to wait for the Moonlight Man.
Sleep. You're going to sleep.
How much time do we have left? Jesus Christ. Oh. I was ready to see Mr. Fucky Foot Guy again.
I'm sorry.
I don't want you to be sorry.
Then what do you want?
I want you to remember.
You think I don't remember? I remember every moment. I remember every shame-filled glance he threw my way. And I remember Mom.
Is there more to it that she maybe repressed?
You've had everything you need to survive from the beginning. You just have to remember. Not the sun, not the eclipse. After.
We had fun on the boat. Do you guys think we should get a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful here, too. Right, Mouse? We had fun.
Yeah? Did you have a nice time with your dad, Jess? Jesus. Jess, are you okay?
I'm sorry. It was an accident.
Just come on. Let's get this cleaned up. Oh, it's not so bad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things in the dark now, too. But, like, when Kate was fading away there, it almost looked like, to me, she had faded into that death entity as well.
Just have to take you to the emergency room and have your fingers sewn back on.
It's gonna fucking hurt.
Oh.
That will not work.
Maybe not, but the wrists have fewer nerves than the body's other checkpoints.
That's why she was remembering that.
Go too deep, you'll bleed to death. Do nothing. I'll die of seizures, dehydration, or dog.
Your legs won't be reliable. It's been a day and a half since you walked on them.
If my hands pull this off, my legs better do their fucking part.
It's been a little while since you've had a little sip. Maybe a little water wouldn't hurt. Right now, a little hydration, just to kind of stave you over for a little bit.
You stay right there, dog.
Okay, that's what she was doing. Oh. Oh no, oh. How much do you need? Oh! I am not a fan of degloving. Jesus Christ! No service. Good God, her fucking arm. I thought she was just going to use the blood for lube, not... Honestly, well, he's occupied at the moment, but I was going to say I'm kind of surprised the blood didn't excite this fucking dog. Oh, please tell me she can actually grip it. Wait, I thought they said that they, like, her fucking mental manifestation said her wedding ring was gone. She was wearing it right there. I was assuming they were talking about the role play. Maybe she took it off to add to the game. But, I mean, she's still wearing it, so... I'm just trying to distract myself from, like, the fucking mangled-ass hand. I don't know, like, shit like that, like, I've seen every, well, not every, there's one Saw movie I haven't seen. I've seen all that shit. I don't know. It's one of the few things that still make me just fucking nauseous to see or look at. Maybe it's because that stuff is just generally way more over the top and stuff like that. I don't know, but this is just so... Oh, it's the dog. Oh! Wait, is that her? Oh, wait. Was that her or him? Good God. And now it's dark again. Is that fucker in the corner? Uh-oh. Swear if it morphs out of that shadow right there. Oh, get the fuck out of here with this. Jesus. Waiting right at the exit. Guess he's just waiting to see what happens. Are you gonna make it, or am I taking you? That, right. I forgot about that. He did mention that this thing was gonna add her ring to its collection. I almost thought she was gonna loop right back to the house and she's already dead and trapped there or some shit. Come on. Oh my God, you jackass.
Mouse.
Please, I don't... Fuck, dude. I'm so scared she's gonna get out and look back at her bodies in the car. Because death embraced her already. Okay, well, I'm so hesitant to, like, be accepting of the fact that we made it out.
I'm writing this letter with my right hand, nestled snug in its frictionless burn glove. 3 skin grafts later, it still doesn't work quite right, and it still hurts to write.
She made it out. I was really hoping this wasn't going to be one of those fucked up indies.
People who undergo serious trauma often block out memories. The cops knew that even better than the lawyers, and I knew it better than any of them.
So she didn't tell the truth to anybody.
Every night, just before I closed my eyes.
Is it our spooky little friend? God, it's like his eyes just keep getting brighter and brighter. Oh, he's got the handcuffs, too.
It was the question that in all the reports, all the cops that combed through that house, they never found my wedding ring. What got me through those nights was you, thinking of you, that his shackles were silence, and his were comfort.
That is what I was saying.
My days were better. I took the insurance money and I started a foundation for girls and boys like us. I spent so long never telling that story, so I tell that story every day to every kid it could possibly help.
When I was 12, I went to the lake house with my family.
And while that helped my days, I still sat up at night waiting for that pale face in the moonlight to claim his runaway bride. 6 months of being a widow, and then Raymond Andrew Jobert's picture first appeared in the paper. 2 years ago, reports of graveyard vandalism in the backwoods of Alabama hit the paper, but I never read about them, not in New Orleans. And they were tiny stories. Someone was breaking into crypts and mausoleums of small-town cemeteries and stripping corpses of jewelry. As the months went by, it escalated. Incidents started being reported in Louisiana. He gouged out eyes, something I'd always assumed was the dog. And when it came to removing genitalia after having sex with the dead, he stuck strictly to the gentleman. This was clearly extremely lucky for me. And one night, a man woke up to find Raymond Jobert in his room, naked, trying to cut off his ear. Jobert suffers from acromegaly, a progressive enlargement of the hands, feet, and face.
This turned into a full-on X-Files episode by the end of it. Stephen King did write an episode of X-Files, and Mike Flanagan is a fan of the show.
They did find his sister and her husband, who he called his mommy and daddy. He'd scalped them both.
What the fuck did this turn into? What the fuck?
This monster was real as the cuffs, as the dog, as real as the eclipse. And so I had to write this to you, Mouse. Because you're the only person who'd understand.
Oh, she's writing it to herself.
We need the sun to come back out after so long. I think we deserve the sun.
She's just been eternally trapped on that night.
Raymond Andrew Jobert hasn't spoken a single word since his arrest, not even to his public defender.
16 counts trespassing and vandalism, 18 counts desecration, 8 counts first-degree murder, 21 counts mutilation, 28 counts desecrating human remains, 16 counts breaking and entering.
Hey.
4 counts assault and battery.
Hey!
You're not real.
Oh, whoa!
You're not real. Officer! You're only made of moonlight.
Oh.
You're so much smaller than I remember.
Wow. The first words he spoke to were to her, saying, "You're not real, you're just made of moonlight." It's almost like she became one with that eclipse in a way. Oh shit, look at, whoa! I like that though. Freaky as shit. Goddamn, Flanny. You did it again. You did it again. Good God. I hated a lot of that. But in the way that it's just the fucking realness of some of these situations. Because this situation is meant to be revolting, meant to be repulsive. It's meant to put you right in line with Carla's character this whole way through. I mean, even to the point where we are literally in her mind, because her mind has kind of taken ownership over the space that she is occupying in this place, because that's all she has to herself at the moment, as she's bound to this bed trying to figure out what to do, where she's forced to reflect upon her own experiences, what led her to this, and like a real long domino trek to try to figure out all these different puzzle pieces that did fall into place to lead her to being right here. You know, she's got her husband here as kind of like the devil on her shoulder. He's like representative of all these pessimistic thoughts right here. Everything negative going on about this situation, he's there to remind her every step and how we got here, blah, blah, blah. And then she manifests this version of herself that is trying to coach her through this, trying to, help her get out of this situation. And it's just like her versus this entity that has kind of taken over her life. And then that becomes replaced by this crypt keeper guy. And then we learn the way that all ties back into her father and how they're all kind of just different echoes of the same thing. It's just wild how that all kind of came together, because it didn't just start with Gerald. It started all the way back when she was a child, and how that set the stage and almost doomed her to repeat this cycle end on end, whether she knew she was or not. And she was, because of what had happened and her way of surviving and distancing herself from those events, she was also locking away parts of her ability to heal from that, to confront it, and therefore even hiding away tools that could have better prepared her for what she was about to go into. But as this started to unfold, those barriers of repression, these memories that she's long since tried to never think about, started coming to the surface in these moments, and little bits and pieces here and there helped her survive this. And I think that's indicative of any level of trauma that we go through. At its purest sense, it's exactly that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Things like this can only hold you back as long as you let it. If you don't face it, if you don't confront it, if you don't learn from it in any kind of way, shape, or form, it can continue to hold you back for the rest of your life. She might as well have been bound in handcuffs, because he tied her hands for the rest of her lives. And, no matter how much shame, remorse, or whatever he had, he manipulated that situation to make it feel like it was her decision. That was her choice. The way he spun that as this kindness, he was like, we should tell them. That's not what he meant. Like she said, he always stared me right in the eye through all of the lies, but it's when he told the truth that he looked away. Through all of that bullshit, like everything, because he already knew how strained her relationship was with their mother, how strained their own relationship was, and that if this did come out and she was just left alone with her mother would never let her live that down. She already was at odds with her, like she already had that relationship strained, and that would only make it worse. It already seemed like she had an inkling about some kind of weird thing going on between them that, I don't know, just something about that conversation that she was kind of eavesdropping on about them in the kitchen. I got the vibe that she thought there was something weird going on, or that she was just even jealous of her own daughter in some kind of weird way. But there is always that chance that maybe it could have even brought them together, to realize what was going on, what her father was putting them through, or whatever. It very well could have gone the other way, but the way things were going on, like with what her husband ended up doing, he basically maybe even strategically segmented her off from the rest of the family, whether she knew it or not. Like we were talking about earlier about some abusers' kind of tactics about how they control their victims and stuff like that. You can get caught into these situations where you don't even realize that you are being segmented off and put out on an island, so where you can only rely upon them. Who knows? That could have been his entire plan, whether consciously or subconsciously, to do that, so that he would have this alibi or out. Maybe he even manipulated the situation so that their relationship with her mother was so poor that if he ever did act on these urges that he did have, he had that as a kind of anchor. Like he was coming out as the hero and all of that, you know? I think we should tell everybody. I think we should do this, because if we keep a secret, who's to sell? It'd just be even worse if it came out later. I can't trust you to just hold it on for all these years. I think we should just come out with it now. And then all these little low-key, little subtle-ass threats that he was just sprinkling the waters with, just filling this poor girl's heart with fear, to the point where she just swore end on end that she would just take it to her grave. She wouldn't tell a soul ever. Oh my God. And he put it all on her to carry that weight around, just to make himself feel better in the end. But he knew what he was doing. That's the shame part, when he looked away. The one little inkling of truth that came out of the entire conversation when he was talking about how what he did was shameful or whatever. You know? Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that's putting it very lightly. And then, of course, you know, people in these situations, you always hear about it. You know, women end up falling for people that are like their fathers. Men fall for people like their mothers. And unfortunately, I guess, you know, whether that's true or not, this situation, you know, maybe that could work out for the best. If you had a good dad, who knows? Why not? Why not try to, like, get a good guy? Like, if your father set a good example of what a husband or a father, a parent could be like. Sure, shoot for something like that. But unfortunately, when you're stuck in this pit like this, she unknowingly stumbled into the same situation, just with a wholly other guy. Like, she thought she knew her father up until he revealed himself. You know, she met this guy, fell for all of his shenanigans, fell for his mask, and he locked her down with that ring. And then over time, the real him started to surface in all these little ways that she either chose to ignore, or he just was a little bit better about hiding, until she started to go through the cracks. Because as she was left here with nothing to do but think, she's thinking back on all these different things. Oh, what about those trips that he took, or those late night phone calls, or all these little things? He hadn't touched her in months. And then out of nowhere, he wants to go out on this trip and kind of do this and rekindle their relationship. It's almost like he positioned this as a way to finally just get what he wanted out of her, or to get her to do the things he's always secretly wanted. Because she, like she said, she had no idea that these were his turn-ons, his kinks, all these things. And I feel like she didn't even remember that one night he described to her after the fact, with the choking and all that kind of stuff and the hands above her head. It seemed like she was only just now remembering that even happened. Maybe she even repressed that until now. And just like with the situation with her father, she's bending over backwards, trying her best to not be the problem, to not throw a wrench into things, or just to get by. She's created this idea of herself that she needs to perpetuate in order to just make it through. Because a lot of this film is that human condition, that survival instinct. Like, what at the end of the day will we do to survive when we're put in these situations? How far will we go? Like, how much does living mean to us? What happens about that when we reflect upon our life in these situations? What do we find value in? What do we take comfort in? What do we retreat away from? There's a lot of these interesting ways that this was all framed in this because of the situation that she found herself in by the end of this. She was physically shackled in the way that she was mentally. She was isolated in a way physically that she was mentally. All these years, whether she knew it or not, she had been repressing all these things, trying never to even touch upon them or even think about them ever again. And then how all these little memories in this moment would just kind of come up in the moment that would help give her the next step. Like she said to herself, she's always had the tools she needed to survive. Just like the dog, you know, it was doing what it needed to do to survive. And how badly did she want to survive, to live, to kind of not let this be how she's remembered. You know, to take her life back into her own hands, to free herself from the shackles of her mind and, again, physically in this place. This house and this bed and these handcuffs were just a physical representation of what she's been putting herself through all her life ever since that moment with her father. And it became this kind of trial and tribulation to see if she can move past all of that. It's just, I don't know. It's just a fascinating way to visualize what trauma can be like. It's like extreme, it's ugly, it's disgusting, it's grotesque, and It's difficult, but it takes strength, it takes vulnerability, it takes bravery to kind of confront all these different things. And to forgive yourself at the end of the day. Even when it's not your fault, your mind can blame yourself all the same. At the end of the day, this movie was about her overcoming these demons and unshackling herself physically and mentally and reclaiming her life and getting her autonomy back. You know, and I like that this idea of the eclipse, like she was always had this darkness cast upon her where she was somewhere stuck between in this twilight zone almost. There is light, but there are shadows cast everywhere. She's trapped not only in that day that forever marked her, but it follows her around in every facet of her life. You know, she's never able to fully give to anything because of that. Again, it just keeps her trapped in that in-between. And by the end of it, when she's finally confronting that version of herself that maybe she built up some kind of, I wouldn't want to say resentment from, but like she didn't want to confront that version of herself. That's part of the reason why she continued to suppress and bury these memories. She didn't want to face it. But when she went back for that version of herself, to care for that version of herself, to forgive, to kind of go back there and be the strength that version of herself needed, that she gained throughout this entire journey. I like this idea that at the end of the day too, like no one's going to really pull us out of our situation other than ourselves. And if we don't love ourselves, or she was afraid to even confront that version of herself or even think about that version of self because of how it made her feel. But at the end of the day, that's still her. So she, in order to accept herself and heal, she's got to love even that part of herself. Has nothing to do with forgiving her father or doing anything like that, because fuck that. It just has to do with forgiving herself and putting any of that guilt on herself to begin with. This was a hard watch. It was a lot of hard and heavy subject matter to sift through as well. But that's the thing. This stuff happens and people have to survive it. And people don't always survive it. That's the hard part. And I'm glad that this didn't take the route of some other films, you know, and leave us with a downer ending or anything like that. There's character we were following go through all of this, fight tooth and nail to survive, came out of it on the other side, and even so to help other people. And while a lot of this was framed earlier on, obviously about the way that people objectify and, you know, put down women into these roles and these positions, you know, talking about the joke that her husband was telling about those as really what he thinks, is it not? And then here where he's got her chained up and he's like, hey, you're just here for me to do this. I like that at the end of it too, she makes this little foundation or whatever to help people, not only women, because it doesn't only happen to women. You know, this happens to everybody. I like that they at least tacked that on at the end. It's wild to me that Crypt Keeper guy ended up actually being just a stray serial killer. Well, not even like a stray serial killer. He eventually did become like one, but he was more of like a fetishist, taking it back to X-Files, but like Donnie Pfaster. You know, he started up. He'd take little snippets. He worked in mortuaries and stuff like that and graveyards or whatever, and he would take his little trophies. And eventually that wasn't enough. You escalate. But that's just indicative of like those types of fascinations of them, of their own. You know, there's stories like that in real life. That's obviously what these are all based on, those compulsions, and how, like anything else, eventually the more you have of something, the more you take of it, the more you'll need to get that next hit or that next high, you know. And that's kind of true of Gerald. He wanted to do these crazier things with her all this time, and for a long time he was able to make his shit work for what she was willing to give at the time, but he was always wanting more. And it got to a point where what she was giving wasn't working anymore. So he had to escalate. He had to take things a little bit further. And when he started to push past her boundaries, that's when he started getting going again. And then it went further and further until we escalate finally to here. And oh shit. And that's just like why when she went to finally face this guy in his court hearing, like beyond just being this avatar for the torment she went through that night, it's just another representation of the same thing. And just the revelation too that the Crypt Keeper wasn't this manifestation of her mind, because it very well could have been. I mean, it was accentuated by, you know, the glowing red eyes and all these other things, but no, he was actually there, which is the wild part. Oh my God. Just all the little details all throughout this, the structuring, the scares, all of it, the way it was paced out, and not just the supernatural scares, even though they were revealed not to be, it still was haunting. And then the real stuff is the scariest stuff, you know? And of course, all of this subject matter is expertly brought to life with these phenomenal actors, man. Mike Flanagan, he uses a lot of the same faces over and over again, like in his works. You know, and there's a reason why. One, there's the shorthand, you know them, you have rapport, you work together already. It just makes things easier. But at the end of the day, they're fucking amazing. He's got some of the best people, like, on speed dial for his projects. You know, there's at least 4 in this that I can recall right offhand that we've seen in a lot of his other stuff. Carla, I'm pretty sure, has been in every one of his shows that I've seen, unless I'm missing one. Bruce Greenwood was in Fall of the House of Usher, opposite her as well, and phenomenal in that. And Carla, let's just be real, she is probably one of the best actresses in existence right now, and I don't think she gets half the praise she deserves, man. The levels of humanity and emotion and trauma and darkness and light even that she puts herself through in these roles, like she can just run the gamut of emotions all throughout these complex monologues and in these situations that are so heightened and absurd sometimes. She is fucking amazing. And I don't think people sing her praises nearly enough. Obviously, there's Kate Siegel in here, who's Flanagan's wife, and she's pretty much in everything, and she's fantastic as well. Henry Thomas, the father in this, he's in pretty much everything. You know, it's just fun seeing them. It's always fun seeing them pop back up, you know, but there's a reason why. They give great performances every time, and it's never the same performance. There's no two are the same, and I love it, man. I love it to death. Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite directors working today, and so far, he's not missed. This is all talking from my experience of this film. I have no idea what the book is like. I don't even know if this is a faithful adaptation of that book, but as far as this film goes, I think it was beautifully done. Through all these disgusting, fucked up situations, at the end of the day, the lessons at its core and the heart of it all shines through at the end of the day. Out of all of the shows of his that I've seen and the films, the handful of films that I have seen now, you know, there's only one that really didn't have or carry this kind of light in it at its core. So that's definitely an outlier. So you can genuinely most of the time expect out of Flanagan that no matter how dark it gets, there's going to be something empowering buried within it. And that's what I love about his stuff, is like no matter how dark the world is, no matter how heavy things can get, at the end of the day, there's something to enjoy about life. There's something to reclaim about it. There's something to appreciate. Even in death, there is beauty in all these different things. And it's just, I don't know. I find myself consistently fascinated by the stories that he tells and that he brings to life. On a lighter note, I did want to kind of come back to something I mentioned earlier just briefly, just because it fits to the topic of this film. Is like when I was talking about being trapped to a bed like that in that situation was kind of a fear of mine. It's because one time with a significant other, we did kind of have a little romantic outing. And, well, I was the one on the bed. And let's just say they decided it would be a fun little prank to pull to be like, uh-oh, I can't find the key. Obviously, it wasn't like a situation like this, but I'll tell you, I was freaking out. I was like, oh, no, you got to be shitting me. You got to find it somewhere. And honestly, I couldn't tell you how long in real time that it took before the reveal came that she had the key the entire time. But I could tell you it felt like forever. Thankfully, it was just a little joke, a little gaff, a little prank. By the end of the day, but it legitimately freaked me out. I have not forgot that moment. Anyway, we're going to leave it off on that note. I'm going to go put on a Pixar movie or something to kind of just reset my brain after all of that. But at the end of the day, this was a fantastic movie, but it's one of those movies where you just you need a shower after. That all said, I would love to hear your all's takes, your all's thoughts, your feelings on this film. Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Mandy Sherritt, Yorick Korskov, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Yale, Jake Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Sam Oyer. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.